What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight in New York City at 168 pounds between Edgar Berlanga and Hamzah Sheeraz. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to like this video? Also, hit subscribe. My YouTube analytics are telling me that 75% of you who watch my content haven't done this yet. Also, one more thing, go down to the bottom of your screen, find the bell notification icon, click that so you never miss a video. Boxing is back. July is stacked, and this weekend is filled with very interesting fights, both on Friday night in America and Saturday night. We've already documented one of the big fights, a trilogy between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, but in this video, we're gonna be talking about Edgar Berlanga versus Hamzah Sheeraz. We're gonna be going over both of their careers, talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and stay tuned to the end of the video. Like always, that's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds and be giving you my money line prediction on telling you where to put your money. All right, guys, this is one of those fights, one of those interesting fights to where since it got signed on the dotted line, I've been getting asked about it on my daily live streams. People have been asking me for my prediction. It's not for a world title fight, but for a title eliminator, so there is a lot on the line. The more well-known household name internationally is going to be Edgar Berlanga based off of that incredible start to his career, 16-0, 16 first-round knockouts, plus you mix in a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and you got a guy that a lot of people know when you're talking about them. But with Hamzah Sheeraz, you cross over to the pond, the UK, and also all throughout the Middle East, people know about him as well. The 26-year-old knockout artist was on a 15-fight knockout streak up until his last fight when he finally got a chance to fight for a world title at 160 pounds against the current champion, Carlos Adames. And that fight was declared a draw. I live streamed that fight when it was happening, and I just rewatched that fight once again, and it's a hill that I will die on. I feel like Sheeraz was gifted a draw. He started off well in the early rounds, and the way I scored it, I had Adames winning that fight. I'm just glad that they didn't strip that fight away from Adames. Adames made great adjustments from the third round onwards. Started a little bit slow, but with his style, he operates that way. He likes to see what his opponent is giving him, and then he turns it up throughout the fight, and this is exactly what he did with Sheeraz. The Sheeraz camp are going to say that he came in with an injury and says that's why he didn't perform at his best. Make that however you will. I don't like Shiraz's body language in that fight from the fourth round onwards. If you watch the corner work, he did look uncomfortable, and it looked like Adames's style was giving him fits. At the end of the day, like I said, not a loss on either guy's records, a draw. And in my opinion, I'm glad they didn't take Adames's belt. Moving forward, Shiraz's camp will also tell you that he was cutting a lot of weight. We know this to be true. He is a big guy, 6'3". He was fighting at 60, worked his way up to that, and this is going to be his first fight at 168. A lot of his handlers are expecting a phenomenal performance. He has moved camps. He's being trained for this fight by Andy Lee. You'll recognize this guy's name. He's at the top of the food chain regarding coaches over across the pond. We saw the difference in Ben Whitaker's performance against Liam Cameron more recently in terms of going to Andy Lee and seeing those results. He's going to be staring across the ring from Edgar Berlanga, fighting in his home state of New York. If you've been watching the lead up all fight month, you're going to see a lot of interviews between both guys, a lot of face-to-faces. There's going to be a lot of vitriol on this fight. Berlanga feels he is above and beyond in terms of class over Sheeraz. In a recent interview, Berlanga told Sheeraz to his face that he is to Sheeraz his Canelo. I found that pretty comical in terms of Berlanga working his entire career to get the Canelo fight. And even though he lost, he had a fight parade. Take that however you want to take it. I find that comical. Also, all jokes aside, what you're going to get with both fighters, you're going to get an Edgar Berlanga who wants to mix it up in the pocket. Not always the most defensively sound guy in terms of when he's in the strike zone. We've seen him get buzzed before. We've seen him get knocked down before. He's never been stopped. And with this offensive arsenal, that's what makes it so exciting. Sheeraz is going to be the slightly taller guy, slightly younger guy, has a slightly longer reach as well. Hamzah is a guy who's very talented. He could fight at different ranges. He could fight you on the outside. He could fight you on the inside. when I see his best work, it's actually on the inside in the pocket. He likes going to the body and finishing up top. It will be ill-advised for Berlanga to fight him, in my opinion, on the outside. I think Berlanga is going to have his best opportunity to win this fight actually on the inside based off of his comfortability at 168. And I feel he's going to be more durable than people think Berlanga is against Shiraz's offensive attack. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at Hamzah Sheeraz and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Hamzah Sheeraz is 21-0-1. He has 17 knockouts. He carries into the ring an 81% career knockout to win ratio. And out of 1,785 fighters in the world at 168, he's ranked number 5. He's fought a total career of 98 pro rounds, and his adoring fans know him as Hamza Shiraz. The 26-year-old Brit is a 6'3" orthodox fighter with a 75-inch reach. He was born in Slough, Berkshire, United Kingdom, but lives in Ilford, Essex, United Kingdom. We last saw him fight Carlos Adames, 24-1, split draw. Tyler Denny, 19-2, stopped him in the second. Austin Williams, 16-0, stopped him in the 11th. Liam Williams, 25-4, stopped him in the first. Dmitry Mitrofanov, 13-0, stopped him in the second. Like I said, the hype is real with Hamzah Sheeraz. It's no secret who's been backing and promoting him. Turkey Al-Sheikh feels that Hamzah Sheeraz not only is going to be a world champion at 168, he feels like he is the next face of boxing. He has a fun style. Like I said, physically, he ticks all of the boxes. He likes jabbing his way on the inside. He could fight you off his back foot. He could fight you off the front foot. If you look at his last recent fight and judge him off of that, I don't think that's a fair assessment. The draw, he did have a flat performance. Before that fight, he was coming off 15 stoppages in a row, most impressively against Ammo Williams. In my opinion, that victory against Ammo is a great victory, but when you look at the guy's physicality side by side, I'll say this, and I've always said this, I don't think Ammo's fighting in the proper division. I don't think 160 is a proper division for him. I'd actually like to see him fight at 54. All that aside, Hamzah Sheeraz, he's a dog. He wants to be in a dog fight. He could fight technical. I think he's going to have the more technical advantage over Edgar Berlanga. And we're going to learn a lot early in terms of who respects whose power and how the fight's going to go. I'm looking at that first minute of the fight. Both guys say they're going to start the fight in the middle and let the chips fall as they may. Pay attention to a key word in terms of the outcome: durability. Right now, let's take a look at the American Edgar Berlanga. All right, guys, Berlanga's 23-1 with 18 knockouts out of 1,785 fighters in the world at 168. He's ranked number 9. He carries in the ring a 78% career knockout to win ratio, and he's fought a total career of 85 pro rounds. His adoring fans know him as the Chosen One. And the 28-year-old American is a 6'1" orthodox fighter with a 73-inch reach. He was born in Florida and calls Florida, USA home. We last saw him fight Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, 20-0, stopped him in the first. Canelo, 61-2, lost a decision in the 12th. McCrory, 18-0, stopped him in the 6th. Quigley, 20-2, UD in the 12th. Angulo, 27-2, UD in the 10th. Edgar Berlanga is a guy, like I talked about, who entered the pro ranks with a lot of hype. People either love him or they hate him regarding his personality. A lot of times in the fight world, people will judge a guy based off of how they carry themselves, what they say outside of the ring. I tend to judge a guy on what I see inside of the ring. Berlanga, because of his personality, is so big. People often forget about a couple things that I really like about his fight style. He's not the most technical guy. He has flaws defensively, but I think his hand speed is definitely underrated. It's one of my favorite things of his offensive bag. Also, his power. He uses his speed to set up his power. If we're looking at it from a strength and conditioning standpoint, I am a strength and conditioning coach. A lot of you guys on my channel already know that. If you break down the term plyometrics, plyometrics is a philosophy of training using our body weight to create speed. Speed creates force. Force creates power. That is a mathematical equation. In boxing, guys will have one-punch knockout power, Deontay Wilder, or guys will have functional power, like Berlanga. He uses his hand speed to get those knockouts. Granted, as of late, the Ortiz knockout, that guy hadn't fought in 10 years, so I don't really want to count that one. And ever since the 16-0 streak, he really hasn't been stopping guys. He's gonna give himself an opportunity to put a lot of those naysayers to bed when they say his resume is weak, he hasn't fought anybody. When I look at both guys side by side, Berlanga is going to be a couple years older. Shiraz is the taller guy, the longer guy. The 8-pound difference in weight class matters, so Shiraz will be entering the waters at 168 for the first time. I like Shiraz's jab. I like Shiraz's length. I like what he looks like on the outside. I like what he looks like on the inside. With Berlanga, I like his power. I like his speed. I like his willingness to exchange. And I like a guy who's been knocked down to the canvas before and gotten up. You've seen him drop before, like I talked about. Shiraz has been dropped before, nobody talks about. When you go back to a fight in 2022 against Francisco Torres, a guy who only has 4 career knockouts, Torres lost the fight and he got stopped, but he dropped Shiraz. My point is, some of the things that I dislike about Shiraz's style is when he exits the pocket. You see a lot of this with taller fighters, think Seb Fundora. He exits with his chin up. I see that in Shiraz. His defense at times is also leaky, similar to Berlanga. So like I said earlier in the video, I think durability will be a key component on who wins this fight. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the Las Vegas odds. And remember, guys, I do daily live streams in which we talk about over and unders, method of victories, knockdown prop bets. In this video, I'm only going to give you my money line prediction. Also, tomorrow, if you're catching this today, I'm going on Gary from 3D Boxing's channel. We're actually going to do a debate and talk a little bit about why I'm taking, who I'm taking, and he's going against the other guy. So if you haven't subscribed to Gary at 3D Boxing, do that right now. All right, guys, pull out our betting apps. Down here in Australia, I use a betting app called Sportsbet, currently on the money line. Edgar Berlanga is a $2.10 underdog, meaning you put 100 on Berlanga just to win. You get your money back plus 110 bucks. The draw is 16 to 1. Shiraz is a $1.83 favorite, meaning you put $100 on Shiraz just to win. You get your money back plus $83. Like I said, Shiraz, the hype is warranted. Don't judge him for what he looked like against Adames. He said he was injured. He said he was flat. I'm not judging him on that performance. And you can take what you will about Berlanga's last performance. Ortiz, like I said, hadn't fought in over a decade, but at one time, he was a rising prospect. Berlanga is the same guy who lost to Canelo, went the distance, had a victory lap. Say what you will about that, literally had a parade after a loss, which is insane, but I kind of like it. Where I'm putting my money at on the money line here, I predict Edgar Berlanga to actually be too tough for Hamza Shiraz. I think he's going to be able to figure out the jab and distance. I think he's going to be wise enough to fight Shiraz on the inside. I feel this is where Berlanga is going to do his best work. I feel he's going to work the body, break Shiraz down. I question right now at this stage of the game Shiraz's toughness. I question his durability, and I question his mindset. And it's going to be one of those fights that he's going to have to prove it to me. I don't see him coming to New York and beating Edgar Berlanga. You're going to have to wait till my live streams to tell you how I think the fight ends. But I'm going all in on Edgar Berlanga, the chosen one, to be too much, too tough, too gritty, have too much hand speed and too much power against Hamza Shiraz. Guys, you do not have to agree with me. This is not an echo chamber. Who do you think's winning this fight, Berlanga or Shiraz? Also, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of the ladies, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.